I just forgot what I was gonna do. Oh my God. Mm. Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. Okay. All right. I found what I was looking for. I found what I was looking for. Here we go. Let's get started. You dig? I'm still digging.
It's a book that is on high on my list of books that I tell people that they should read, which is Thomas Sowell, a wonderful author who wrote a book called Inside the Education System, and he explains.
All right, so this is Candace Owens speaking on abortion. Okay, now she's a right-wing conservative. Now watch how she sounds exactly like IBM, DJ Focus, and a lot of other black pseudos. All they do is still right wing conservative points. I've been saying for the longest on my channel, black power is really just revised white power. That's all it is. Okay. Watch how she sounds. This is a right wing conservative Republican on abortions.
Biggest myths about the pro-life movement is the idea that they started teaching sex ed in school because people were just having sex. Actually, America was a remarkably conservative, sexually conservative country all across the board in the 1950s. The majority of high school kids were finishing high school with their graduation, with their virginity intact, pardon. And then the government decided to get into the classroom and teach sex ed, okay? And within just in one decade.
Now, look how she just fast forward. She skipped history, but Mark is going to correct her.
This completely changed. And now kids were having sex. And this is what we are dealing with today, right? So first and foremost, it was the government deciding that they were going to step in and be your family that led to this problem of women that were having premarital sex. The culture changed. The government was behind that culture shift. Planned Parenthood got into the classroom and began pushing down their books because they see an entire market of people that they can feed into the pharmaceutical industry with birth control, another ill in our society that's making women sick, but we'll park that aside for another conversation. Hormones and putting hormones in your body all the time is obviously making people ill, and they can't see that. People have forgotten the history. The government created the
Making
problem.
people ill and they can't see that. Now she said government. Now, in case I don't know, right-wing conservatives, especially extremists, they are anti-government. And you'll know why if you go watch back my videos in the making of the government. I got the government. Just go to my channel, go to where it says search, and just type in government, and you'll see some videos dedicated to how the government was put together. And you'll see why right-wing people hate the government. They hate is because the government not only regulates the FDA, you stupid niggas, and FCC and USDA, it also regulates states. Because states, you stupid niggas don't know that states are also like their own country. They got their own they got their own president, which is a governor, and they got their own laws and policies. Okay, so the U.S. government, the federal government, regulate those quote unquote countries as well. They don't want regulation. This is why they're so mad. They didn't want the government telling them that they can't have slaves. That's called regulation. What you mean I can't have slaves? Mind your business. This is my country. I do what I want to do. And the government said, nah, that's not how that works here. You forgot why I was formed? The government speaking. And we don't give a damn. You mind your business. And that started the Civil War, just like that. You dig? But yeah, I'm holy water influenced, but I got to keep real. Some of y'all ain't fuck with me, man. Y'all ain't fucking with me. I could go religion. I could go, like, my scope, it's crazy. And this is off the top of the fucking head. Like, if I cut my camera on, I'm sipping. I'm not reading shit. Top of the head. You stupid niggas can't recall what you learned because you didn't learn it. You just memorized it. I learned some things. Some things I memorized, some things I learned. And what I know now, I learned.
Right. We actually, the solution was families intact and families that were talking to mom and dad about the bees and the birds. And then a government created a lie. This is a fact. This is not, no. This is a fact. It's not like a no thing. You can read. You can.
This whole talking about it's a fact. And okay. This weird looking black woman. Like, listen, I know you got a little boy body. Okay. So stop acting like you're a high value woman. You're not.
Read the book. Inside the education system, it has all of the sources. It is a fact. Statistically.
Read the book. The bitch sound like Tariq Nasheed. No, this crazy ass.
And then the government transformed culture by telling kids they didn't need their parents and they could make decisions by themselves. Now you're saying we have kids that are having sex. We have people that are getting pregnant irresponsibly. We created that problem. So now obviously the government can fix it. This is the same thing with welfare, right? It's a fact that Black Americans.
Before you get to welfare, I just want to push back on the sex ed thing. I'm happy to talk welfare.
No, but it's the same. I want to put these two points together. It's the same thing with welfare. It's the same thing with welfare. You have people saying we need more welfare, more government solutions. The government created the problem. The government intentionally, we had a racist president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who intentionally broke down Black families when Black Americans were outpacing white Americans in terms of economic growth. This is why people have fond memories of their grandparents being together. You know, we have good music, all of these good values. The family units were together. And then what happened? The hippies generation came in. The government broke down Black families.
Everything is government, government, the boogeyman. That's DJ Folk, that's most pseudos are going to government boogeyman. Okay, so government, but local government ran by the state. Yeah, federal government, but every state has a government. That government is controlled and operated by the state governor, who's the president. Y'all can't fuck them. Y'all want to. That's why people want to see me in a fucked up position.
Became more impoverished than we've ever been in our entire life, despite $3 trillion being spent in the 1970s. Black Americans are poorer today. The government does not create solutions.
Learned the hard way. He can't fuck with me on certain things, and definitely not on law and constitution. Like, he learned the hard way. He referenced a video that he did not recall or understand properly. He was educated. It's okay. But he has refused to say, yo, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He's just gonna go out like Willie Lump Lump. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, I was wrong. I ain't coming back. The hell with y'all. I ain't gonna admit it. But dude, it's documented, and I'm never gonna let you forget. You dig? Ever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm petty. So when you guys don't like, because the reason why I'm petty is because when I'm wrong, it's humiliating. But I will say, yo, you got it. I'm wrong. I might not do it that same day, that same night, but I will eventually do it. And it won't take a fucking month like Stu Peace. He had enough, and like I said, I'm actually inboxing him, and he's not responding. But he had enough time to come back and say. Even Google Scholar had left with him, whatever. Like, oh, some Jamaican shit, I don't know. But everybody's trying to build some cult following where it's us against you type shit. Hey, dude, just stand on truth, man. Just stand. Everybody should be a can, man. Anybody can get it, man. Fuck where you from, your sex, all that type of stuff. You wrong, you wrong. But everybody built like that. I would say me, Sonetta, Chief X, Corey, just the pseudo killers basically are built like that. Rob Bourne, a true story, and like there's only a few people who will call it how they see it. Everybody just dick ride. Lovejoy will call it how she see it. The Watcher, and a lot of you guys that come over here will call how you see it. But most people would definitely be a yes man, yes woman. Okay, so let me share my screen with this hope.
Problems and then tell you that the solution to the problems is more governments, which just actually creates more problems. It's a vicious cycle. Put the government out, put the families back together.
So a couple of things, just a couple of fact checks. The idea, first of all, and I've studied the history of sex ed quite extensively, and sometimes I teach about it. And I'm a professor of urban education, and one of the things we talk about is sort of the rise of it. It actually begins not in the 1950s, but it begins in the 1920s, and it begins actually for very good reason. It wasn't about pregnancy. You're right. Pregnancy wasn't the biggest problem. You know what the biggest problem was?
STDs.
Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea and syphilis to soldiers after World War I. Everybody was getting all the stuff, right?
Hey,
right? Because soldiers.
Yeah, Mr. Meek, I'm gonna play all these videos.
Wearing condoms, they didn't know about that stuff, and the government said, the military said, we can't have unhealthy soldiers. So what we're going to do is pass the, I believe it's called the Chamberlain-Kahn Act.
What we going to? So I hit you up. I know you're busy. That's why I said, let me do something until you're free. All right. So hold on. Let me just send you the link in free time. But I'm gonna play again. You're invited, so you're welcome to come on and talk about this. It don't always gotta be Bible. All right, so where is the share button? Let me send you the link. I'll stop the share. There we go. Yeah, so it's good to be well-rounded because, religious folks still got to live in this world, right? Where policies and laws and things like that is going to affect them. So we still got to talk about this type of stuff as well on top of religion. Okay, yeah, I am 100% certified Bible defender, like, but I'm also defender just other religions too. Like if somebody was to say something about Islam that was false, I'm going to check them and correct them. Like I said, I intervened in the Islam debate between my two boys. Ended up researching some things in the Quran. I was a better debater than the guy who was actually defending the Quran, who was actually Muslim. But they both Muslim, but one didn't respect the Quran like that. The other one did. But I never got Minister Meek's views on some things they're talking about before I proceed. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So what I would just clearly point out is that like a lot of Black religious groups, and unfortunately a lot of them are racist, based. That they're racist. They're racist. I don't know one that's not. You guys can educate me, but most Black religious groups that started by Black people are normally racist. All right. So a lot of, and I mentioned that because I'm saying a lot of their arguments are borrowed from right-wing conservative Republicans, and other arguments are borrowed from right-wing extremist conservative Republicans. And just because you borrow argument doesn't mean it's wrong. But when it's wrong, right? So let me get your opinion on, and like you could give an opinion. It could be religious based or it could be non-religious based. It's up to you. But what is your true feelings on abortion?
Oh, my feelings on abortion is that it's murder. I don't believe abortion should be legal. I think there should be certain, strenuous circumstances that would allow for it, but this would be a case-by-case basis. If in actuality the mother was going to die, there needs to be something done there, or something needs to happen. But I feel, which in most cases, the mother is not, going to die. Women are just having unprotected sex and getting abortions. And I feel that's immoral, even from the biblical perspective. And it's funny too, because, I actually, went through that with the woman. She had an abortion, and man, it broke me up. At first, I was like, oh yeah, let's just do it, because everybody else was doing it. I didn't think twice about it until after I really realized, like I sat down and as I started reading the Bible, I was like, man, I can't believe I did something like this, All
right, but I'm gonna give a little pushback. When you say murder, okay, so the Bible talks about murder. When the Bible talks about murder, give me a case where the person is not a human being. I'm talking about teeth, lungs, blood, oxygen, brain, eyes. Give me a scenario of a murder and it wasn't a person like that.
Of a murder and it wasn't a person like that?
Yeah, teeth, eyes, oxygen, lungs, teeth, brain, eyes.
Well, okay, so when you look at our body, that doesn't make up a person. That's part of a person. Because wait. You got to listen to the argument. Listen to the argument real quick.
No. Before your argument, because I asked you a specific question. I said, give me a case where there's a murder and the person is not in a fleshly form.
Is not in a fleshly form?
Yes. A body.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing specific like that in the Bible. You saying in the Bible, or?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Bible.
Yeah, but there is a prohibition against, I think it's over in Exodus. It speaks about how if two men, or I think it uses the language horse playing around a pregnant woman, and one of them hits her or strikes her, and it causes her to lose her child, that man is subject to the judgment of the husband, and he can be put to death.
Okay, slow down. But what month is she in?
It doesn't say. It just says pregnant. Right. Pregnant is just with child.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, but here's the problem though. For my research, I got two clear examples of a pregnancy, and they were both 3 months. So for somebody to hold a view like that, they got to show me a pregnancy of a woman 1 month or a couple weeks, because I got two examples. Of course, one is married. I got another one, which is Tamar, also 3 months. Okay, 3 months. But I don't know a pregnancy in the Bible earlier than 3 months.
Okay, but don't we argue? Didn't we argue that Mary was pregnant after Luke 1? Right in Luke 1?
It was yeah. So here's the thing though. When you're but after 3 months. After 3 months though. After 3 months.
Yeah. But what does pregnant mean?
My point. Conceiving.
Nah, pregnant means with child.
Yeah, but that I get okay. From a Bible point of view, it says, but a child, by the definition of a child isn't okay. So now watch this, because that's a translation, by the way. A child is a person in a body. A child is never defined as somebody in the womb. A child is always outside the womb.
Okay, check this out. Genesis 16 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then Genesis 19:36. Genesis 16 and 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Hagar, I believe this is Hagar. Wait. Yeah, Hagar. Behold, thou art with child and shall bear a son. So she's pregnant.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's share your screen.
Okay. Let me go here.
You got to source up. Look at this big old woman, and she's white. I can't stand big people, man. I just cannot. It's just pure laziness, man.
I can't stand it either. I'm there with you.
So the way you feel about abortion, that's the way I feel about obesity. I despise obesity, man. I really do, man. I really can't respect people who are obese. I really can't.
Everybody has their own proclivity. Some people are gluttonous, you know?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm the wrong guy.
I feel the same way about I feel the same way about drunks, honestly, because my dad. That's just how I am. So that's why I take the perspective I do.
Yeah, well, but that's what makes the world beautiful, because we're all right. We're all right. We're all right. And now, so that now, before you read Genesis 16, let me say that I don't believe that people should be having sex recklessly and irresponsibly. I believe it should be for a purpose. You dig a purpose, and you should be involved with the person looking to have a family at some time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you should be with this person, that person, this person. Nah, I'm not with that.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's how you get broken households.
Yeah, and which I'm 100% against. That's why I'm pro birth control. So, like, let's say if you're against abortions, okay, that's why I'm pro prophylactics. I'm pro whatever else, birth control pills, whatever they gotta take. If a condom, I'm pro that, because now the Catholic Church is against birth.
It's pro against birth control, only something that stops the connection of the sperm and the egg.
No, the Catholic Church is against all forms of birth control.
I've heard a little bit different from. I don't know if it's from a different. But wait, listen.
That's
I don't know if it's. I've heard. Yeah.
I ain't talking about modern churches. I'm talking about the early church. Look, I know what I'm talking about, because me and this black man have this birth control debate all the time. So, like, trust me. When it comes to birth control, this is my lane. The Catholic Church.
That's because the only form of birth control back in that time was only one way.
Nah, that's not true. That's what I said. This is my lane right here.
Okay.
Even during Margaret Sanger reign, the Catholic Church was against all forms. They said natural sex only. Okay, they're against condoms. They're against pills. They're against abortion. They're against all of that. I know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't mind that stance. That's a hard standard to live up to, but I don't mind that stance.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. The problem is that a lot of people are not religious, so they don't give a damn what the Catholic Church thinks. So,
Yeah.
so now we got to consider those. Though we can't just say, all right, well, they don't matter. They do matter because they're having kids and they're having 6, 7, 8 kids, and their kids out here murdering, and robbing, and shooting, and weighing a heavy burden on the government and society. So I have a problem with those type of births. That's why I'm 100% pro birth control. In all forms, really. To be honest, I'm all forms. But I am pro family. So I'm okay with you say no condos, no pills. I'm okay. It's just like, hey, when you date, I agree with the Bible. Like as far as how you date, that one woman, that's it. Ain't nobody else. That's it.
Yep.
I'm with that. But America's not with that. So as a result, like I got to modify my approach now to birth control because I can't force people to, date the person marrying and having kids. But anyway, so go ahead. Genesis 16:11.
So initially you said, I don't know if it was from the perspective of the Bible, but you said a child is somebody outside of the woman.
Bible. Right, yeah. I want the Bible's perspective.
Okay. So Genesis 16:11, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction.
Now, what's that word in Hebrew for child?
Let's look at it. Don't allow. Read. Kine Hara Bain the Kara Bain. Looks like, yeah. Oh no, Hara bear. Oh right, yeah, bear a son and shall call his name. Okay.
So now in the Hebrew, is it a child or just she's pregnant? She's just conceiving.
Yeah, it's just pregnant.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the English is gonna put child there. That's why I say you think of a child. A child is a child is not a child. A child is older than a child. A child is like older than a toddler. It's like the kid is like walking and jumping up and down. Like that's never in the womb. A child is always a physical being that can operate on his own.
Yeah, but to be fair, the definition is pregnant with child because pregnant means with child. So that's a fair translation for them to say with child.
Well, what I think what they're trying to translate is that she's pregnant and a child will be the end result of the pregnancy. I think that's what they are implying when they say pregnant with child.
Okay, because so let me ask this question. When she first becomes pregnant, what's inside of her?
A fetus.
Okay. Fetus means what?
Or embryo. A fetus, and that's why it's called a fetus or embryo, because it's dependent on another. A child's not dependent on another human being to survive. An embryo and fetus are 100% dependent on their mother to sustain life.
But wait, I can make the same argument for my 2-year-old.
Try.
Wait. Well, she's completely dependent on me.
No. Okay, so I'll be more specific. Living an embryo life is 100% dependent on the mom and the fetus, not your 2-year-old.
Yeah, not that bodily, but they're still dependent.
No, they don't need you. You can go in a car crash, and that infant could be adopted and be with Anne.
Right, Suzanne. And be dependent on somebody else, though.
No, yeah, but not to. Yeah. No, but not to breathe and live. That kid can live without Suzanne. That kid don't need nobody. If you just put that kid's gonna breathe without anybody.
Okay, but okay, fetus. You know what fetus means?
I don't know what it means, but I know a fetus is not born. I know that.
So fetus is Latin for baby, for small baby, for child.
Okay, so now let me help you out. So when it comes to words in English, you have a layman, like social way to use it, and you always have a professional way to use it. That's with computers, that's with medicine, that's with name it, or law. So you'll see persons, you'll see things like that we use daily, but in law that means something different. Even a theory, when we use it normally, you'll see you got a theory. And sometimes I playfully correct you, but I'm actually correct. So a theory is used loosely in society. A theory is only a scientific theory. So that means it needs evidence to back it. But loosely, we will use it in society as these are my thoughts, which is incorrect.
My thoughts, yeah.
That's improper grammar. So these different fields, they have their own definition. So now, my point is, you got to go to a medical dictionary to define fetus, not Webster.
No. I'm saying when you just every medical term, most medical terms are, I believe, I know most of them are Latin. I don't know if they're also Greek, but I know a good majority of them are Latin. And you could go to here. I could go here real quick.
Hey, brother, look, you can go where you want to go. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not researching anything. I'm just talking. A baby is born. Babies are not unborn. So if you're in the womb, you're unborn. You're not a baby, right? So there are scientific terms for things that are living that's not born, and that's why they give it fetus. They give it embryo because they go through stages of evolution.
But is it still a human being, like at the moment of conception?
No, a human being is born. There's no human being born.
All right, so let me ask: if it's not a human being,
right?
Don't tell me the stage of development. Tell me what species it is. If it's not a human being before it's born,
it's a fetus.
No, that's not a species. Tell me that, because there's different animals that are also fetuses when they're in the womb. I want to know if it's not a human.
Okay.
What's the species of it before it's born?
Okay. So let me do it this way. Is a tadpole a frog?
Come on, man. You did the same thing to me. You say, "Oh, no. Answer my question first."
No. Right. So, but I did though, and you didn't kind of receive it. You're saying species. It's going to evolve to a human, so it's part of the human species through evolution. It's going to like a sperm cell with an egg. If that connects, that's not a human, but it's part of human species because it's going to evolve as long as it survives through all those processes. It's going to evolve to a human being, so it's part of human species. So just like a tadpole is not a frog, but it's part of reptile species, even though it's not a frog yet.
But it would still fall under that family of the amphibians. It would still fall under whatever tree it's good. It doesn't. So here's my point.
Yeah, I think you're missing what I'm saying. Yeah, you missing.
I see what you're saying. You're saying a tadpole isn't a frog. It turns into a frog. That's fine. That's a little bit different than like a human, because my question is my question is geared towards this. My question is geared towards this.
Yeah.
If it's not a human before it's born, what species is it?
Okay, it's part of the human species, but it's in the fetus stage.
Right. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know. That's all. So we have a human being that's in the stages of development.
No, it's not a human being yet. It will become one.
Is it living?
It's definitely living.
Okay. So it's a human being, because being is just a term for a human who's alive, right?
No. A human could only be alive outside of the womb.
Huh? Okay, wait. Okay, let me ask this.
Yeah.
Do we have anything in the world that grows and is not living?
No. So again, like I said, that's why I said this is my lane. Living is different from a human being. Like plants live. Single cells live. A single cell amoeba lives. It's not a human being, but it lives. So
I know. I get that.
Yeah. So bacteria lives, but it's not a human being, and it takes no form. Yeah, but yeah, of course it grows because it's
Right.
I don't know every bacteria, but some bacteria grows. I can't speak on bacteria like that, but humans do grow.
Yeah. Okay. So my question was, is there anything living in this entire universe? I understand human beings and other things live. Is there anything in the universe that lives and does not grow?
I'm not sure because I don't study life forms like that. But
right. So here's my
yeah.
I was gonna say, here's my whole premise to build into the conclusion. My premise is that only living things grow. So from the moment of conception, that baby, it's in a different stage. Sure, we can agree with that.
But I'm a disagree. But you call it baby. You can finish, but I got an objection, Your Honor. It's not a baby.
Okay,
but go ahead.
The zygote, whatever you want to call it,
fetus.
It has its own, fetus. Yep, small child. It has its own DNA that will never be replicated again. So once it's conceived, it immediately starts growing. The cells begin to split. It starts growing because it's living. Now, when we go and get an ultrasound and we get a heartbeat, we get confirmation that the baby is still living. But we don't say, hey, the baby's living at this point.
Objection on baby still living. The embryo, that is living, but baby is not living. Baby's not born yet.
Okay. But anyways, yeah. So and then just with the whole biblical perspective, that one scripture, let me find it real quick because it was in that same train of with child scriptures. Genesis 21:22. If men are fighting, if men strive and hurt a woman with child so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. So this is if nothing happens to her child, he's still something has to happen. And this is accidental. So I believe with God speaking about it here, it's clearly evident if it's accidental and then you're switching it to doing it on purpose and completely killing the child, that's definitely wrong. If accidental,
but it's not a child
as well.
All right. So now I'm gonna help you out here. Now I got a scientific definition of the word fetus. I don't see child here at all. It says a fetus is an unborn offspring that develops unborn, so it's not living. It's not living outside the mother. So a fetus is an unborn offspring that develops and grows inside the uterus womb of humans and other animals. In humans, the fetal period begins at 9 weeks after fertilization of an egg by sperm and ends at birth.
Okay. Offspring is a child, right?
No.
That's the offspring, seed.
Yeah, right. But it doesn't say child here. And that's why I say when you look at words in their field, like you'll have different definitions depending upon how you define it. But in the field, they're going to have their own definition. So science going to have their field of definition, technology, different things like that. But the word baby's not here. The word child is not here. I'm telling you, a child and baby are things that comes after it's born. That's why it says an unborn offspring. So offspring, it means it comes from a human being or like a mammal. That's all offspring means. It's just because the offspring is not exclusive to human beings. You know, horses got offspring. So it's just mammals. Mammals have offsprings. But if that offspring, like let's say if the person has a stillbirth, right? Mm-hmm. Then it was never born, you know. And then, but what happens is when it comes out, what does it look like? It looked like something unidentifiable. It don't look like a human being. It don't look like anything you just said. It looks like just like look like, I don't want to say because it's like kind of touchy, but it doesn't look like a human being. But stillbirth.
Yeah, but it would still be it. Like, okay, let's say what you're saying is true. It doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. But if the doctors did a DNA test, it would be a human being.
No, not a human being, but they will tie it to a human being.
What species would it be? What species would it be then?
Okay, now look, you can do that all day long, and I'm gonna keep saying it's part of human being species, just like a horse is part of the horse species. But But when you look at this, the abortion of a horse, when it comes out, it won't look like a horse. Like you won't know what it is.
Yeah, because it's in a different stage of development. Just like my 4-year-old child and your child, they don't look like them grown selves.
Right, but I think you missed what I'm saying. So I'm understanding you and I'm listening. You got to understand me now. I'm saying scientifically, you're not a child, you're not a baby until you are born. So scientifically, and that's not absolute, because there's some debates there. That's not absolute, but some of the scientific world, I'll say it that way. Some of the scientific world argues that if you're not born, then you're not a baby, child, or human.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Well, they don't just pull out their ass. Like they got.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. But you gotta also understand too. Part of science is not totally detached from bias or philosophy.
Neither is religion, right? And interpretation, right?
No, that's all it is. Well, it's not bias. I'm saying it's philosophy. It's a way to view the world. That's what religion is. And that's also what science is, because they're trying to view the world in a certain way, just in a different methodology.
That's not science.
Science itself is not derived from the same methodology as religion.
That's not science. Like, for example, there's no such thing as science, like as in like just science, because there's 3 stages of science. You got physics, you got biology, you got chemistry.
Right.
And they're all different. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all different. So it's not just science. You got to be specific, right? You can't just lump it up. But people do that. People say science, they lump it up as one thing, and they're totally different. Physics is different than biology. Biology is different than chemistry. Chemistry is said. Physics starts it off. Chemistry is second, and biology is last. Like if you want to talk about stages of life, because physics, there's no life, there's nothing. Chemistry is right before life, and biology is last. Biology is life. So, but biology is literally life. I mean, you talk about biology, you talk about life. That's why
you said physics doesn't prove life.
Physics, no, that's not what I said. I said
okay. Say that again. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to see if I'm hearing you correctly.
Physics has nothing to do with life.
Oh wait, I disagree, and can I give you my reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So physics, okay. So when we study physics, we also look at motion, right? Physics has a lot to do with motion as well as other things.
Right. And nothing living, but go ahead. Nothing, just
right.
But go ahead.
Right. So this is what I understand. So I believe that God is life, right? You understand that from the Bible, right? God is life.
Yeah, life.
Right. So when you look at the law of motion, it always talks about how something that is not in motion can't begin to be in motion until acted upon by something else, right?
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go.
By an outside force. So that's like a rough paraphrase of Newton's law, right?
Yeah, because I want you to, but Newton's law don't speak on life. So I would love for you to show me the connection of life and physics.
I'm getting there. Trust me. Okay, so if that's true, those things that are not moving until acted upon, I'm going to call those things that are in potentiality. Things that are moving are going to be called in actuality. So if that's true, God is the first mover and he is never in potentiality. So the law of motion actually shows life because God is life and he's the first mover. That's actually an argument from science that you can make for the existence of God. Because if there was nothing or no one that was ever always in actuality, that means that God had to be moved by something else.
All right. So
and then you have the infinite regress.
Yeah, but isn't God outside of life?
No, God is life. What did Jesus say? I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Okay, so God is biology. So God has a biology.
No. Life is different. No. Life. So even when you look at Adam, when Adam was first formed. So first his body was formed, and what gave him life was God's spirit. The union of body and spirit, that's life.
Yeah,
which
like
when we take our first breath, that's life. When we die, we take our last breath.
Yeah, but religiously, I don't agree with that. Because, like, from a religious perspective, I believe God is outside of life. Life can't define God. God doesn't breathe. God doesn't have cells. Like, and these are the things that make up life. Adam had those things. That's why he's living. Right? He's a living soul. Like, until he wasn't a living soul.
But think about it though. Life isn't something that's physical. It's a concept that we describe that we are breathing. And breath, yeah, you can say it's physical because there's particles. But when you read read it about Adam, he received his breath from God.
Yeah, but it's physical. But it will be then it will be physical because breath is a physical thing that God did to revive, or not revive, but to bring forth Adam, to make him a living soul. Because you think about it, right when the physical breath entered him, he became a living soul. So he's living.
Well, it wasn't physical breath. It's described as spirit. It's described as spirit.
Okay.
So spirit would be something that's non-material, but it's translated as breath because it's used as breath as well. It's similar, but not the same thing because the Holy Spirit is not something physical.
Let me ask you this. So once the living breath or whatever you're saying was into the Adam, did he become a living soul?
Once the living breath entered Adam?
No. Once God breathed into Adam,
right?
In his nostrils, did he become a living soul?
Yeah.
Right. Science would define at that point we're doing biology, but before then we're not. Once he start living, now we're doing biology. But before he was living, that's the chemistry stage. But once he started living, that's biology.
Yeah. You see my point with proving life. Okay, when you think about it, you believe in a sense, and maybe it's not in the same sense I believe it, but you believe Jesus is God, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm still iffy on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I understand. So he is a God. He is a God. Yeah, he is a God. Like, for sure. Now, whether he's the Father, I'm not sure yet. I'm still looking into that.
Why you say a God? Why you say it like that?
Because he, like, from my vantage point, from the most, from videos I watched and the way I looked into it, I got him as a God because he can do godly things. So that's why I say a God. He can do godly things. Now, is he the Father? I'm not sure.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't believe he's the Father. Something as far as what I believe in as far as the Trinity goes, there's one divine essence, three persons that exist within this divine essence. There's some cool stuff I'm reading up on to kind of get a better articulation of it right now. But you ever read Hebrews 1? I know we've read Hebrews 2 a little bit with the Hebrew Israelites, but Hebrews 1.
Hebrews 1. I'm sure I read that. Yeah.
So there's an interesting verse in it, and I think it's so interesting that this was in there. Hebrews 1, 5 and 6. So it says, "For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee? And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son." So it's clear that the father is speaking about the son, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then verse 6, "And again, when he, the father, bringeth into in the first begotten into the world, he saith, Let all the angels of God worship him." Now, this is interesting because this very last part, "Let all the angels of God worship him," is in the Septuagint, Deuteronomy 32:43, and it's about the angels worshiping Yahweh. Not only that, verse 10, 11, and 12, the Father is referencing this about the Son, and this is a psalm about Yahweh. So I believe there's clear indications, and plus, the Gospels, how they quote certain things, that Jesus is referred to as Yahweh, yet clearly distinct from the Father. But anyways, my whole point to say that was because Jesus in John 14 said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." The life, because when you look at life, it's union with God, because God's spirit is himself. It's not separate from him.
Yeah. I could like if the religious consensus was different from science, I could understand it. You dig? Like, I'm not like somebody who just can't see it. Like, I could understand that. Like, I could understand why a religious person would have that, that definition or conclusion, perspective. It would make sense to me why they would come up to that point where they would say, "Hey, this is life." Like, that would make sense to me why they would think that. So
Yeah.
that's why that's why I said some scientists. I made a mistake and said the scientific whatever. I made it absolute. I said no. I backed up. I said no. I said some scientists, because it's a debate right now between scientists what makes life. So that's why like the abortion thing is controversial. But that's why I just say, man, be family oriented, so you ain't gotta worry about it. The person that you're dating, you're courting, you're gonna have sex relationships with, that person should be the one for you. Like, so now we ain't gotta worry about abortions.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You got a kid, and then it's better for society anyway. Like, I'm against baby and all that type of stuff. Single parent mom, I'm 100% against all that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. Oh, so remember when Stu Pease used to question you about some of your religious beliefs, and like he's like really drill you? Okay.
Yeah.
So now, are you aware of me and Stu Pease argument? Hour a little back and forth, but it's really just it was one night.
About you guys were it was right before I hopped off. You guys started getting into it.
Right. Because I replayed it a few times. I don't want to replay it again if I don't have to. But were you present when I replayed it?
Man, I swear I watched it, but I don't recall.
All right, so let me just give you a rough draft. But I want to point something out. That's why, like, there's a phrase: "It ain't fun when a rabbit got the gun." So when he was able to drill you and try to back you in the corner, it was all good. But when it's his turn, the dude just couldn't come back and say, "Mbaz, you were right." Like, he hasn't. Bro, I contacted him. Look, it wasn't like like we argued or anything. He was disrespectful, cut me off, and I didn't yell at him. I didn't call names, and he hung up. I even inboxed him the next day, like, "Hey, because I didn't think it was that serious. Like, you did lose, you took an L, but I didn't think it was that serious. You know what I mean? Because I took L's with him before, and I came back and said he was right about certain things. Mm-hmm. But so anyway, he was wrong about why counsel, attorneys, and police officers. He was wrong on why they said you should not talk to police officers. He was wrong about the reason why they said. He was acting like it was just everybody shouldn't talk to police officers. Like they're just the bad guys. I'm like, dude, how the hell you not gonna talk to? Like, so if I witness a crime, I got to talk to a lawyer before I tell him what I seen. Like for example, if you're at Walmart where you're at, or McDonald's, and you see a customer steal something disrespectfully and just run out, or they throw a can at the manager and hit him with it and they run out. Like, do you need to seek counsel before you tell an officer what you seen? Like, that's just stupid. Like, no. Hey, the guy threw a can at the manager and he ran out. He had blue shirts and a black hat. So, but he was acting like if you do that, then the officer might make you the culprit now. Hey, you're the guy. Like, nah, bro, I don't know what fancy you live in, but that's not real world. Like, real world, if you're a witness, you're an eyewitness, they're going to use you as an eyewitness. Like, dude, like, see, but like certain black people, like they're so fearful and hateful of police officers because of personal experiences that they think all police officers are horrible and conniving and deceitful, when that's like the furthest from the truth. Definitely not now. Maybe in the 1950s, 30s, and 60s, maybe you can pull it off. But in 2024, like, stop it. So he referenced a video, and this is what people do to me all the time. They do this all the time. They give me a long old video to watch. You know why they do that? Because they think you're not going to watch it.
Yeah, and then they're going to think they won in their mind. Yeah.
They don't know. I'm biased sports. Is a nerd. When I'm bored, I probably won't watch it. But when I'm bored, see, I'm the type of person I don't watch. Like, I watch TV now, but I watch my shows: Shark Tank, A&E. First 40. Like my shows, Catfish. I watch my shows. And
get some growth.
If my show's not on, I'm gonna watch your link you sent me because I gotta watch something. I hate a quiet room. I gotta listen to something. So I'm gonna play your video. Okay, what do you let me watch this? So it turned out that his video did not agree with him. It agreed with me. Now he's embarrassed. And I understand why. Because in our small community, we got a phrase which says you die at your source. Die by your source. So he committed suicide by his source. Like, there's no debate here. His source 100% agrees with me. And instead of being a man and coming back saying, yeah, man, yeah, you were right, he's run like a coward. And the Bible says the wicked flee but no man pursue.
That's crazy. Oh man, that's crazy. You sound like the Hebrew Israelites now. Boy in purple.
Yeah, but people tell me I gotta be humble, but I be humble all the time because when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember LJ told me in a nasty way, but LJ corrected me. I think we had like a little back and forth, but he corrected me on my Hebrews 2. When it said little Lord of the Angel, I was confused. Now, originally, I thought that meant in between man and angels.
No, that was because men are lower than angels. Right. He was just putting them at,
So I pissed LJ off, and he corrected me only because he was pissed off. Like, he didn't correct me when he wasn't pissed off, but he corrected me when he was pissed off, right? So I'm like, oh, but I appreciate it. I didn't call him out for that. I didn't say, LJ, man, I like, wow, because that was a good revelation that Captain can't pull me, because I did use it on Captain, and he was like kind of confused, and he mocked me, but he didn't correct me like LJ did. So Captain didn't do what LJ did. LJ corrected me, where I had like no rebuttal. Like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. So when LJ did it again, it was because he was mad at me, but he was right. So I'm not a guy that if you're right, I don't care how you say it. If you're right, you're right. Right. So he was right. So he saved me a lot of time, because now I got the right understanding on that, and I won't use that incorrectly anymore. I used it incorrectly on Captain, but nobody else I did that, because now I was prepared to, defend it the right way. So my point in that is, like, he corrected me. I was humble. Many times on here. Many times. I'm not always right. I'll be wrong. Or I read wrong. I read stuff incorrectly too. You know?
Yeah.
If somebody correct you, it's okay. But you normally it takes a debate to correct us. I don't know why, but people like to correct you in a debate. So
no, it does. It does. 100%.
So I understood it. LJ was right. Stu Peace corrected me. I came on here and said, yeah, he was right. Even when I cussed out Haskell, I said, I was wrong. I went too far. But when Haskell cussed me out, guess what? Many times he cussed me out. Many times IBM cussed me out. They never said they were wrong. Only the guy who they say is not humble, only I say I was wrong when I was wrong. They never say they're wrong. The guys who say I'm not humble, they never say they're wrong when they're wrong. So Stu P's been running since. We ain't seen that. He's a track star. There's a song called She's a track star. he's running, making himself look worse because I keep bringing it back up because I have more respect for Stu Pease. I respect him like you. Like I feel like you guys are intellectuals. Like you guys, I respect your opinions and your research. So for him to not, own that, it kind of like made me feel a certain way. Like, damn, bro, I thought we were like a little different. But Meech, trust me, he's 100% wrong. There's no debate here. The video tells it all.
Yeah, which I'd like to think for the most part, I've gotten better at it, but I'm more open to correction. Even when me and you have these little debates, I'll say something, you'll be like, oh, no, this is it. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, my bad. Okay, I'll take that back then. Because I'll just spew off my thoughts and I don't hold them to be, like I'm still learning, even in other areas. But, when it comes to this virgin birth, we ain't learning no more.
Yeah, so I
two-year course.
Yeah, so I got to call Stu Pease every chance I get because he should be humble. It's like, you got to be humble on Bias Sports. I am. But why aren't y'all calling for him to be humble and say, hey, I was wrong. I misrepresented my information. Unbiased Sports is right. Why is that so hard? But I get it, though. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Because I am a boastful type of guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I get it. But
yeah, that
shouldn't stop you from doing what's right.
Yeah.
You know why? You shouldn't have been wrong in the first place. There's a penalty for being wrong. You gotta say you were wrong to a boastful type of guy. But I wouldn't have put him on blast because I don't. If I don't see you as an op, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
only if I see as an opposition, then I'll make a big deal.
Yeah, even when, like I said, when we have our little conversations and I'm like, oh, I'm wrong. You don't spend 10 minutes on it and be like, see, you were wrong. Yeah. Just move forward. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a good feeling when you're wrong. So I get where he's coming from. That ego is big. That pride is big. But honestly, I would just kind of let him go through his thing and see if he's going to come back in. Because that's how some people are. Like my dad, when me and him first started doing Bible study, we would be reading something. I would research it like, hey, what is this Hebrew word? Oh, this is what it means. Boom, boom. And I would be like, hey, Dad, I found this about this. Like, this is what it means. He would argue with me for 30 minutes to an hour. We wouldn't talk for a week. He would come back. He'd be like, hey, I see what you were saying now. Like, yeah, you were right. Okay. And I've just gathered that some people take longer to get out of that feeling of being wrong, and that's how it is.
Yeah, but guess what? He exited he exited playing the victim.
Yeah.
He hung up. First of all, he was cut, bro. If I go through that video, bro, he was cutting me off like crazy. And I was humble. I didn't get my feelings. I didn't snap. He cut me off. I was just patient. Yes. Lay down, Yudi. Lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he cut me off, and I was just I mean, like I'm talking about, bro. Daddy. More disrespectful than any Israelite ever I debated. Like he was worse than any Israelite I debated. He was that bad. He won't let me get a word in.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, man, that's
no words in.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay.
He's trying to wake up.
Oh, it's official. I forgot to tell you, it's official, man. We got another one on the way.
I'm gonna. Well, you got another what?
Another baby on the way.
What was that?
Can you hear me?
Really?
Yeah. We got another one on the way.
Yeah. Again? You got another one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations. I think we're breaking up.
Yeah. I think we are too. It might be your internet. I think mine is A1. I don't know.
It is definitely mine. 100%.
But yeah, we got the ultrasound today. The doctor was looking, and the doctor was like, "Yeah, let me just double check to make sure it's not twins." I was like, "Please don't be twins. I can only do one right now." Man, yeah, twins will be nuts.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, you going in and out.
I said twins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I let me see. Is my screen still sharing? No, right?
No.
Yeah, I know it's my.
Oh, he dropped out. Mm-hmm. I guess I gotta send him the link. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I got a guy for Monday.
Oh, Romans 11 or just the Gentile salvation?
He's IUIC, so I don't know what angle they're gonna take.
Yeah, I'm about to start taking notes. Like, I didn't do that with the virgin birth, but I know all the places that they were going to go anyways. So I want to take notes and like cite all the scriptures they go to and to make which points so that we can kind of get a little roadmap together.
Yeah. I meant to download Clubhouse again because I had deleted it some months ago. I meant to download because I'm thinking like maybe we could have the same discussion on Clubhouse and still go live and share my screen on Clubhouse, and then people come if they don't, no problem. We still can have the dialogue.
Yeah, and you just got to make sure if you join any rooms, make sure replay is on and you can go live or record it, whatever.
I'm not joining none of their rooms. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't join their Zooms. I don't join their StreamYards. Nah. So I'm talking. We will do our own thing. And if people come, they come. They don't. We just have the same dialogue we're having now.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting time. Like right now, time is right now for me. Time is everything. So I'm not wasting time on nobody's platform where I know they got the negative side. So they're going to be wrong, and they're going to, be talking over, muting. I ain't got time for
that. Yeah.
We do Clubhouse and open our own thing. That's it. I'm not doing nobody's nothing. Yeah, I wonder what captain. Oh my god! You know what? I wonder what captains. I wonder what angle. Yeah, I gotta watch some of his videos to see what angle he takes because he's dying to probably try to beat me or something. So he took an L in the Virgin Bird. So he's gonna think this one is his. So I know he'll fall for it because he want to show that he's not scared. So if I need to ask him, he can be like, "Yeah, I'll take it." Yeah, so because he will like he stays active, so he will, especially with me, he'll take it because he'll have to. If he doesn't, I'm excited to that. See, he learned his lesson, man. He took an L, and so he's gonna gas it. Like he's gonna be laughing, he's gonna gas it. Like, yo, because I was on I was in the chat and I said, "Yo, Sanetta, you see Sakari falling apart since we beat him up?" And then like he had shared my text. And he was laughing and stuff. So trust me, if Captain says no, Captain says like he's forced to say yes. If he says no, Captain, I know, but you skid on by it. It's gonna look very bad,
bro. Yeah. So
but to be honest,
there's some good topics. There's some good topics. Oh, you don't? Yeah.
I want somebody I don't like. That's See, I'm the type of person who plays like even like chess and basketball. I play to my competition. If I like you, I won't like because I bowl. You bowl sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
What's your average? What's your high gain looking like?
My highest is like 234, but average like 180.
Yeah, so you're not ready for me. So if I bowl with you, you might win that night because I won't feel like you're like a serious threat. So I won't go my hardest. Like I will be like just chilling, working on stuff, and you'll win and be like, "Yeah, I'll be unbiased sports." Like, yeah, bro, I wouldn't even like, like.
Nah, I'll put money on it. Like anytime I bowl somebody that's better than me, I'm always like, "Hey, let's just put $5 on the game. Let's bowl." And for some reason, I do way better than I usually do for some reason.
All right, now look. Okay, so let me just tell you, my highest average is 216. All right, so what that means is that when I bowl, I usually leave one pin. So that means I'm never going to have an open frame unless some freak accident. Go freak accident. You leave like two pins, like a split, like a freak. You hit the pocket, you leave a split. That's like once in a blue moon. So the type bowler I am in my peak, not now. I ain't bowling like 2 years, but when I'm bowling, bro, when I bowl, I'm gonna leave like one pin up. So the worst I'm gonna do is probably 200. Because I'm at least bowl 2-3. Yeah, and that's the worst I'm gonna bowl. But keep in mind, Meech, those are all pocket rolls. That's leaving me one pin up. So these ain't misses, and I'm leaving one pin up. These are pocket balls. Like that's how good I am. I hit the pocket like in 10 frames. Like I'm hit the pocket at least 8 times. Like 7, 8 times I'm hit the pocket. So these are all pocket bowls. Yeah, I was.
Do you hook the ball?
Of course. I got a video. Wait, matter of fact, I think I got to show you my video. Yeah, I think I should. But anyway, like I was subbing for a league, and my first game I ain't do too good. So they looking like so like the opposition, they be clapping your hands when they both strike, and it's all good. They clap your hands when you mess up. They like to rub it in your face. They clap your hands. So the first game I bought like a 165, right? Mm-hmm. It's just one of those. It just I don't know what happened. Because when you in the league, you get the practice rolls. So I bowled a 165 first game. They were happy as hell, bro. The next game, I bowled the first 9 in a row.
Dang.
Okay? I bowled 9 strikes in a row. The second game. Because I was so mad at them clapping at my failure. Like, yo, who's this guy you got here? He's a clown. I bowled 9 in a row. Of course, they were done. And I guess they stopped clapping our hands like around my 6th frame. They stopped clapping our hands. And that's why I don't like to clap hands in bowling. because these guys are fake. They'll clap your hands when they're winning or when it's close. But when you blowing them out, they don't want to clap your hands. So I'm like, listen, let's just not clap hands. Like, I'm cool with that because I'm very competitive and you're my op anyway. You dig? Like, I don't want to talk to you, clap your hand, nothing. So like, I would rather that than being phony clapping your hand when you do good or bad. But yeah, I bowled the next 9 in a row. But I in 10th frame, I choked. I ended with a 265. I choked, but we blew them out. Game went in close. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like when I'm bowling, most of my balls are going to be in the pocket. So that doesn't mean a strike, but most likely it's going to leave 1 pin. And if you're hoping it's a 10 pin, bro, I get the 10. I'm like 90%, 95% of 10 pin. So you can like stop biting your nails on 10 pin. I'm probably gonna knock it down. If I miss it, if I miss it once or twice, that's it. The rest of the night is going down. So if you're not in the pocket that often, like I am, like I said, you might get lucky and get a winner here and there, and you might even win that night. You might even win that night. It's probably going that night because bowling, it's kind of lucky. You might win that night, but overall, nah, you're gonna be paying for my games. once I find that pocket, it's over. It's over. So I don't know where my video's at. I got this on one of my channels, but I'm gonna show you. Now listen, the whole time I was bowling against a guy that's behind the counter like you. It's the white dude. He was talking shit, and I was like, man, you ain't ready for me. And I'm bowling strikes, looking at him, bro. I left 2 frames where I bowled a 10 pin, but every last frame left 1 pin up, and the 1 pin both times with 10 pins, I knocked them both down. I bowled like a 260 something, but I bowled all, even like the 10 frame, all strikes. And like I recorded this like that. Like I came with my recorder because I knew I was gonna bowl good, and I bowled like some crazy like 268, something like that. And I don't forget, all pocket balls. I left the 10 pin up twice and knocked them down. I left no open frames. And I.
So what was your score?
Like 260 something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like 2 because I left like when you leave like two open frame. I mean, you leave like 2 spares and you strike out. It's not gonna be, especially if it's not like 8 strikes in a row. Because I think I like bowled like 3-4 strikes in a row and I left a spare. Then I bowled like maybe 3 more strikes, left a spare, and I struck out. Something like that. That's why I scored like 267, something like that. It was. But I bowled in my life to my highest. I bowled 2-300. I bowled 2-300, and I bowled a 299. Like that's my like highlight. And after that, I bowled a whole bunch of 280, 270, I bowled everything else. And I'm actually like, I even competed like on a like higher level where they had tournaments, like single tournaments. I went there and competed. I ain't do good because the lanes, the oil lanes the patterns was different. So I wasn't used to it, so I bowled horrible. But like house patterns, like what you do, I'm gonna go crazy in there.
Oh no, I don't bowl on house patterns.
Yeah.
Nah, I bowl on. We have 4 bowling patterns on our oil machine right now. We can program in different ones. I just don't know how to do it yet. But I bowled on more than just those because I bowled at this other. There's like a Sunday league that they had, and they would have like a different pattern each month. The one I hate the most, I hate cheetah. I hate cheetah with a passion.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the patterns, but I do know I bowled in 3 lanes. I bowled in 3 leagues in 1 week, and I averaged on 200 in all of them. And like so, because my average, and like I said, I'm like actually a registered bowler, so my average is like over 200. So I'm like legally certified as a professional bowler because I think if you bowl over 200, they recognize you as a professional bowler.
Yeah, in the USBC league. Yep.
Yep. So I'm recognized like nationally as a professional. So I can actually charge and say, hey, I'm an expert and I'm gonna get expert rates. But because I tried that. I tried bowling for money, teaching. I tried basketball. I got no clients. I did chess. Everybody came. So I said, all right, let me stay with chess. But chess, I'm like the worst. In comparison to basketball and bowling, I'm better in basketball and bowling than I think I am in chess. But they wanted to pay me for chess. I said, let me stay with this.
Dude, if I'm ever out in New Jersey, I'm gonna have to pull up to your gym, give you some buckets. I'm telling you, bro. I'm a problem. Anybody who's on my team is winning, bro.
I don't know. Well, it depends what gym I go to because we got some gyms, man. Hey, yo, we got some Jersey, bro. You know Jersey's the home of Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the guy from that got Sixth Man of the Year from the Timberwolves?
Oh man,
With
I
an
know you're
N.
talking about.
His name started with an
N. Nas Reed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jersey. And yeah, he be ball. Yeah, he was balling. And, they be balling.
Mm-hmm.
They be balling. So you mess around, pull up. Like I'm ready. Like yeah, it go Nas Reed right there. You got guard him. You got guard Nas Reed.
We're like, yeah, I'm going back to Japan, y'all.
Yeah. And not just him. You remember Lance Thomas from the Knicks?
Yeah.
That's Jersey. I know him personally. And then another guy that played for what's the guy from Louisville? We had a guy 6'8". He played the NBA for like a few years, but he was supposed to be one and done with the guy from Louisiana. And that's another guy for Jersey. Yeah, so like if the thing about Jersey, like you don't understand, like you might run into like an ex NBA player in Jersey. I don't know about other states, but we got a lot of ex NBA players. Like J.R. Smith is Jersey. A lot of guys are Jersey, man. I was got Jersey. But let me see if I can find my video. Me bowling. I doubt I can find it because I'm on my iPad. If I had my laptop, I'm sure I'd have found it because I got all my YouTube channels on my laptop. I don't have all my YouTube channels on this iPad, and I don't remember them. But I'm gonna try this right here. Let me. Unbiased Sports. What I call it? I called it Unbiased Sports. I called it something else. Unbiased. Okay. Dang. Let me try this. Oh, God. Let me see what comes up. Nothing comes up. That's whack. Wow. Nothing came up for me. All right, so that didn't work. I called the channel Unbiased Sports something else. Unbiased Sports. I called it something else. I'm not sure the name of the channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna find it. What did I call that? I call that channel. There's the name I called it. If I could think of the name, I could find the channel. Let me see. What else I put on there? After school, my nephew was one of them. Unbiased Sports. It was called Unbiased Sports. It was something, I think, family. I don't know. It was something else. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. I know it. I was playing basketball trying to show them something. Yeah, I ain't gonna find it. Have you been watching Olympic Games?
Here and there, kinda, not really. I saw US lost to was it Germany?
They lost.
Was it?
Nah, they didn't lose.
Oh, they didn't? I thought I saw they lost. See, I think that time I didn't watch the whole game. I saw some of the highlights on TikTok, and it was like towards the end of the game, and I was like, did we lose?
Nah, they won like last second type buzzer beaters type thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh my God. They make it so hard for me to find this video. All right, that would, because I ain't gonna find it. Because I can't remember what I named the channel. It was Unbiased Sports, Unbiased something. Anyway. So I'm gonna do this right here. Once I find it, I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna do this right here. Okay, I found it. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. This is gonna be hilarious. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man, my back. Ugh. I was like, is this your intro?
Romans 11 now.
Here they go.
Let's talk about the grafting in.
God.
Romans 11.
Can I start from the top?
Now, brothers in the camps all teach different things concerning this.
Right.
You have some brothers that teach this is actually Gentiles being grafted in. You got brothers that teach that this is the northern kingdom being grafted back in. Now, as far as I know, the original One West teaching concerning this was that this is actual Gentiles being grafted in. That's what they taught at the original school. Now, there are many teachings from the original school that brothers do not carry today, okay? Because you can break down the scriptures how you got to break them down. That doesn't mean that the original school was teaching that all nations get the promises of Israel. The way that they taught it was like this. The grafting in is saying the heathens are being brought in to make the Israelites jealous. But they was brought in to keep the commandments, and they did not do it either. So the Most High is going to punish them like he said in the first place, and it's justified. That was the way that was taught, all right? At SOT, we don't teach that this is talking about the natural heathen being grafted in. And we're going to explain why. Read that.
God, you want to get to the point with the grafted in?
Yes.
It's the book of Romans chapter 11, starting at verse 19. That will say then, the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief, they were...
Jump up, start at verse 16.
God. Verse 16. For if the first fruit be holy,
Come on.
the lump is also holy.
Come on.
And if the root be holy, so are the
They
branches.
just skipped a lot.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, we're talking about one tree. Not talking about two different trees with two different sets of roots. Talking about one tree. Read.
And if some of the branches be broken off,
Of that one tree.
and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them,
Come on.
and with them partakest of the root and the fatness of the olive tree.
Now, see, this is where they would say, well, see, these are people that are partaking of the root. They're not of the root. They're partaking of the root. I can understand that. I'm not saying brothers are out of their mind. I understand. Read on.
Boast not against the branches,
Come on.
but if thou boast, be bearest not the roots, but the root thee. Thou will say then.
All right, we got to explain everything. Don't brag that now you get the opportunity to be a part of the congregation of Israel. Don't brag about that. Because remember, the root is carrying you. It's the root of that tree, which is Christ. Go to Revelation and say the offspring and the root of Jesse. You bragging like you deserve it. And it is the root of that tree that made it possible for me. So then don't get read on.
Branches were broken off. Might
Is them branches of that original tree were snapped off for my sake. So y'all get out the way, I'm coming in. Paul is saying, don't be like that, read.
well, because of unbelief, they were broken off.
It was broken off because of what?
Unbelief.
Come on.
And thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear.
Come on.
For if God spared not the natural branches, take heed, lest he also spare not thee.
So if the Most High gonna judge the natural branches, he gonna judge you too.
He was probably.
So they would teach that was the Gentiles being humble.
He got to now say that the northern tribe are not natural branches to the tree.
Mhm.
That's what you gotta say. It's like, yo, do you know what you just said? Yeah, brother. Okay, so that means they were Gentiles then.
You see what he was saying though when he was saying when they were reading, he was like, "See, we're dealing with one tree," and then when they read about the wild olive tree, he didn't say, "Now we're dealing with two trees."
Right.
This man funny, man.
Not to get cocky, because now that they have a chance, read on.
If God, behold, therefore the goodness and severity of God on them which fell, severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness.
If thou what?
Continue in his goodness.
Did the Gentiles keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God? No. Did they teach another Christ? What was the stipulation? Read again.
God. But towards thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness.
Read.
Otherwise, thou also shalt be cut off.
Otherwise, you're going to be what?
Cut off.
Now, did the Gentiles keep the commandments?
No.
Did they teach the same Christ?
Wait, pause it.
Yeah.
I love how they make these judgment calls or ask these questions. Did the Gentiles keep the commandments? Did the Gentiles keep the laws? Like, so you're telling me you can speak for every single person and say no. Because notice Paul is saying he's not saying all of you have to do this and keep these things. Otherwise, all of you are cut off. No, he's talking about them individually because the individual branches, they don't represent tribes. They represent people. And that's why when they ask these questions, did the Gentiles keep the laws? Yeah, there are Gentiles that, keep the laws and how it was prescribed in the New Testament. No, they're not, because look at these Christians. Like, brother, you are watching mega churches on TV. You are not talking to these people, living with these people. And first of all, you're not Jesus. So you don't know anybody's heart. You can say this and say that, but these judgment calls are funny when they make these, man. I'm like, man, these dudes are definitely high-minded.
Yeah, because that same point in reverse could be, did Israel do it? It's like,
Right.
no. Okay, then. So why are they still part of the promise?
Right. We should flip that. We should flip that on them and be like, well, those who you consider to be Israelites, are they all keeping the law? They're gonna be like, no.
Right.
Okay, then y'all cut off too. No, but look, brother, we keeping the law. Oh, so it's not specific to every single, I can't blanket it. It's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
See, yeah, we need to start dismantling some of these arguments they make, because they make these Muslim arguments where they'll make an argument, but they can't hold the same standard when it comes to their own Quran. Same thing with these.
Right. Yep. 100%.
They made up their own religions. And what was the stipulation if they do that? They're going to be cut off too, right?
Right.
So the elders taught it like, it is talking about the natural heathen, but based on their actions, they cut off. So they get nothing. This was just done to provoke you to jealousy so that you would want your birthright back. I understand that.
Get that?
Brothers understand? Now, I disagree slightly. Keep reading on.
God. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in.
Say what?
And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in.
Read.
For God is able to graft them in again.
Now I got a problem. How is the Lord going to graft them in again if they was never in? What you mean graft them in again? That means that, are you saying the branches that was broken?
That.
Wait, let me let him finish his point. You might be confused.
Then the heathen came in and he went off and he was cut off, and now we bringing the heathen back in again? I don't think that's the teaching.
Wait, go back like 10 seconds.
For if thou were cut off of the...
He said that really weird.
How is the Lord going to graft them in again if they was never in? What you mean graft them in again? That means that, are you saying the branches that was broken off, then the heathen came in and he went off and he was cut off, and now we bringing the heathen back in again? I don't think that's the teaching.
See, he's reading it wrong. He's reading it wrong.
For if thou were cut off.
He's presupposing that the branches that are spoken about being grafted in were cut off. They were never part of that tree. So they can't come in again if they were never in the first place. That's like when we read, and Judah knew Tamar, not again, or what does it say?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's confused. I see some of the confusion. Yeah. Okay. So some of this starting to make sense, because they try to say that, verse 23 applies to the Gentiles that are quote unquote Gentiles that are grafted in, but that's impossible, because when you read verse 23, it's in the third person and it's speaking about the broken off branches, not about the Gentiles. So he's actually, I think he conflated them because he said they were broken off. He's confusing himself. He's confusing me listening to this. Man.
Of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted, contrary to nature, into a good olive tree.
Now they'll correct me again. They say, now y'all how is the northern kingdom contrary to nature when they natural Israelite? I understand that. But remember, Paul's audience is Jews. Right. He's talking to Jews and them that know the law. Right. He's not talking to the brothers in Samaria. Matter of fact, at this time,
you brothers in Samaria.
Wait, isn't there? Wait, I'm so confused now. He's saying now that the broken off branches are the Jews?
No, he's saying that he's talking to the Jews about, I guess, Southern Israel is, because he said Samaria. So I guess Southern Israel and Samaria. So he said they're been educated about the Jews, about the Israelites in Samaria, how they're broken off.
Okay, I see his confusion. Okay, yeah, he's separating northern and southern And we know Paul says elect and blinded. So verse 7, you know, Paul says elect and blinded. That's all Israel. There's an elect and then there's the blinded. This see how important verse 7 is to this whole breakdown?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna keep on thinking there's only 2 groups mentioned. But Paul already mentions 2 groups and then he introduces that 3rd group. So I think that's those distinctions are gonna matter. But how we get it across in a simple way, that's gonna matter even more. Because when I start talking second person, third person, you'll be like, what?
Yeah,
might have to have a quick little grammar lesson.
By that point, you're gonna lose them.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of a better way to say it. I'll probably just stick with the pronouns that are in there. You, ye, those are second person clearly, and then third person. So I won't even get into the Greek unless somebody says, "Hey, you got blue letter?" Unless they say that, then I'm not getting into it.
Yeah. So the second
blue letter, what's that? BlueLetter.com.
Right. So the second person to them is the Jews to them.
You have no dealings with a Samaritan. Now Jesus Christ taught the woman at the well, who was a Samaritan, and she was surprised that Jesus Christ of Judah would even talk to her. Y'all have no dealings with us. Now you're getting a little context. What did Christ say? Our fathers drank from this well. Well, then that would mean that
Christ didn't say that.
Your father is my father, Jacob. So the head of Samaria is Damascus, and the head of Ephraim is Samaria. Right? I think I might have butchered that. But Ephraim is Samaria. That's the capital.
That's what Jacob's well is.
Okay. Well, Ephraim is the chief of the northern tribes. Read on.
That's why it's important to know John 4 because they rely on that heavily.
Yeah, no, it's definitely important. And he just completely misquoted it too.
Yeah. And he said I might have butchered that. Like, yeah, brother, you did do a disservice, definitely.
Olive tree. How much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
Now he's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. If you wicked, you're going to be cut off. But of course, the Most High got the power to graft you in again. I don't see how that could be the actual heathen, but I'm going to explain. Read on.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery.
Come on.
Least you should be wise in your own conceit.
Now they would say, well, how is it a mystery that the northern kingdom going to be bound back together with their brothers? Don't you know that already? By this time, Hosea had prophesied, leave them alone. Ephraim is joined unto idols. Matter of fact, in that same chapter, he says, you can't even swear that the Lord liveth. You cannot come up to Beth Haven or Gilgal. There is a wall of partition between us. You northern kingdom, y'all done. That explains the alienation from the commonwealth of Israel that Ephesians talks about. That explains why the Samaritan woman at the well was shocked that Christ would even talk to her, because y'all have no dealings with us. Read.
When was that?
That blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
The blindness in part is the mystery. Y'all are blind. Y'all are thinking that y'all kingdom is going to last forever. Christ told you the day is going to come where your kingdom is going to fall. Right. Y'all didn't believe, got the man crucified. Y'all think this is just all about y'all. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. We got our temple. We go to Sabbath. We worship. All you people in Corinth, Colossae, the Jews that are heads of churches in these places, y'all still trying to do things the old way. Y'all are blind in part. Y'all are not realizing for this to work out, your northern kingdom brothers gotta come back in. You can't do it without them. Right. So blindness came in part. How would Israel be blind that the heathen is coming in? What prophet ever said that was gonna happen? Yeah, right. So how am I blind? I'm listening to the law of the prophets. Esau gonna get judged. Moab, you can never come around. Ammon, you can never come around. The Girgashites, Jebusites, we not marrying y'all. We not dealing with y'all. Canaan, y'all gonna be servants of servants. Ethiopia, you gonna be slain by my sword. How am I blind? You know what blindness would be? You're not willing to accept that your Northern Kingdom brothers got a piece of this. You're trying to move on without it. Read on.
Yeah. And so all Israel shall be saved.
And what?
And so all Israel shall be saved.
Are you saying the heathen is Israel? Now that's what these Christians want to teach you. They're going to get fancy too. They're going to say there's an Israel of God. And Israel of God supersede nationality, and it's everybody that's in the body of Christ. I like that. Who did Christ come for?
Lost sheep in the house of Israel.
Right.
No, the lost sheep of the house of the heathen too.
House of Israel.
Come on, I can't go with that. Read. All Israel shall be saved. What?
As it is written.
As it is what?
As it is written.
All right, now I got a problem.
Who is that? Who is the Lord? The lost sheep house of Israel? That just Jews? Or that both? Right now, he said like it's both. All right, you have a problem with that then. It's both.
Two, where is it written that the heathen gonna become us? They try to do it in Isaiah, but they don't read Isaiah. Isaiah tell you they all going in slavery.
Yeah.
Isaiah said the nation and kingdom that will not serve shall utterly be destroyed. The strangers is gonna build up our temples and our walls, man. So then what you mean as it is written?
Pause it real quick.
Obviously this has to be talking about northern and southern kingdom. That's
I wonder how they interpret this verse. So you know how they say the Hellenes are actually Jews?
Lanes?
Helen or Helene, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So in Romans 2, because there's a few passages that say to the Jew first and also to the Greek, right?
Right.
So speaking about, the gospel, Christ's commission, things like that. But in Romans 2, it has that same phrase, but not in the salvific way, in a damnation sort of way, or a damnable way. It says, verse 8, but unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation, and wrath, tribulation, and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. So do they read that of the southern kingdom first and also of the northern kingdom? So Gentiles aren't going to experience any of this, like non-Israelites.
Right.
We either going to be in the in-between place, purgatory.
Right.
Or we gonna be in heaven, That's funny.
You got that bad.
only thing that is written.
Yeah.
Read.
There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
From who?
From Jacob.
Well, how you turning ungodliness from Jacob if you're turning ungodliness from the heathen? It don't work. So I can never go with that breakdown. Like, I understand it, but I feel that there's more evidence for the other way.
Yes, it does.
Does that mean that the elders is crazy and they bad teachers? No, because their teaching still ends up in a fact. The heathens that try to cleave with us, they got cut off because they didn't do what was right anyway. John Hyrcanus, during the time of the Maccabees, taught the Edomites the law.
They taught some incorrect stuff. Cause all they're bad.
And it's funny because he just said, he said, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Wait, that don't make sense. If Israel is the church of God and it's part of Gentiles, how is he turning ungodliness away from Jacob? Because since Jacob and Israel were used for the people of God in the Old Testament, they're also used for the New Testament, which, like I already showed you, Paul shows who all Israel is. But yeah, he wants to take half of it, and then when he's trying to say, "Oh, I'm okay," I'm going to try to understand their perspective. Everything else he reads isn't even close to how other people interpret it.
Yeah.
So I just think that's funny.
He said, if y'all don't keep these commandments, I'm gonna kill y'all. All the Edomites began to be Judaized. In Esther, under Mordecai, all the heathen became Jews. Not that they became Israelites, but they started practicing our laws because they were scared of, it says it, for the fear of Israel, they became Jews.
Okay, so now we see Gentiles is that verb, and now Jews a verb.
That's interesting. So I think we bring up that point and ask, okay, if Israelites who behave like Gentiles go to hell, you believe that they're not going to be in the kingdom, right? If they say yes, you should be okay. Let's flip over to Esther 8. So these Jews, or these Gentiles that are living like Jews and become Jews, are they going to heaven? You know, kind of flip their whole reasoning on themselves.
Yeah.
So that means we say Sabbath, what they say. Sabbath. I dare one of them to go out there and make a burden, right? So you might as well be a Jew too. I keep Sabbath too. It's Day of Atonement, ain't nobody working. Ain't nobody working. Ain't none of y'all working, right? And then the heathen gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, nah, I'm not working today. It's new moon, right? They also do no servile work. The heathen think he gonna go and do some servile work, and the Jews is like,
hey, it's tabernacles, right?
Right?
Yeah, that means no microwave.
Tabernacles, right?
Oh yeah, you're
No
right.
microwave from the
Hey,
Sabbath.
and let's go get our tents, right? That's not being grafted in. That's actually the Israelites being in power and being a light to the Gentiles. Y'all gonna do what we say. You didn't become us.
Hey, did you see vocab got
We
on
in
them?
control. Like it's not like one of them heathens is stepping up.
Yeah.
Give me this Bible. I'm gonna teach this now. No, man, hold on. Come on, man. Right? Not like
Vocab got on them, and he was asking about their feast days. He was like, so when y'all go and y'all make tents, like, how do y'all make tents? Oh yeah, we just get them, buy some tents from Walmart, get everybody a tent, boom, boom, boom. He was like, well, in the scripture, it says you're supposed to make the tent from pine leaves and from twigs and from sticks. It was the funniest point, man. It was so funny because they were like, we don't got to do that nowadays. Da, da, da. It was funny.
Yeah, vocab, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he be trolling, man. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
that.
Hey, were you about to go to this, Zechariah?
No, I'm gonna get Jeremiah 11 and show you how we understand this chapter of Romans. We believe that this is Paul teaching a prophecy of Jeremiah. Can we go look at that? Go to Jeremiah chapter 11, and then y'all gonna see the connection that we trying to make. And then y'all are gonna understand the grafting in. All right? Brothers gotta stop using that example. You can't graft a watermelon with a grape. Yes, you can. You could tie their stalks together, and they will. Right? Or you can't take an apple tree and graft it with an orange tree. Yes, you can. That doesn't mean that it's gonna bear proper fruit, but you can do the act of grafting. You can. So brothers gotta stop saying that. All right? What's better to say is, if you don't see it as the natural heathen, what's better to say is that you gotta be grafted in again. How can you be grafted in?
The tree can survive. So if you don't successfully graft, you can't just throw a twig on a tree and say, hey, I grafted this in. Like, no, it's got to bear fruit. That's the it's like, hey, if you say, hey, I played basketball, but I just went to go watch people on the court. You didn't actually play. You were just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dude's making some weird points. Clearly, he hasn't studied ancient agriculture.
Dang. All right, we play it.
Again, if you was never apart. That right there should be where you begin. Read this in Jeremiah. Now y'all gonna see the connection. 11.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them.
Go to verse 15.
Verse 15. What hath my beloved to do in mine house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee? When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest.
So the Lord is talking about Israel. Y'all love being wicked. Goodness has passed from you. Y'all just love to be evil. That's what the Lord is saying in the book of Jeremiah. Read on.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree.
A what?
A green olive tree.
What was Paul talking about? The olive tree. The Bible said the Lord called thy name a green olive tree. Who is Jeremiah talking to?
Israel.
Jeremiah ain't dealing with the heathens.
No.
He called down destruction. He called down double destruction on the heathen in chapter 17.
That's right.
So you can't do that. Read.
Fair and goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult.
Now, didn't Paul say the good olive tree? Didn't the Bible just say the fair and goodly fruit olive tree?
Right.
You see the connection? Read.
Uh-oh.
With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
And what happened to the branches? They was broken off. So that's not new. It's not a new thing Paul is teaching. This happened in Jeremiah's time.
Right.
Well, then that would mean that Paul is teaching what Jeremiah said. He's not teaching Paul. He's teaching the law and the prophets, like he said in Acts 26 and 22. And basically saying that this prophecy is fulfilled in Christ. That's what Paul is saying. Read.
For the Lord of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee. For the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah.
Of who?
Israel and of the house of Judah.
Now you got two olive trees.
So they were both broken off.
Goodly fruit. No.
Again? That's what he
So
said?
yeah, that's what he just read. They were both, Judah and Israel was broken off from the good olive tree. That's what he just read. Oh, they might have just, hey, look, we got it. This is gonna be in our notes now. It's gonna cut them. This is a good scripture. Yeah, because where does it mention Judah and Israel? I don't know where he's reading that.
Let me
Is he
see.
still in Jeremiah?
Northern and southern kingdom. Read.
which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal.
Abomination. Read.
And the Lord hath given me a knowledge of it, and I know it. Then thou showedest me their doings. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off.
Let us what?
And let us cut him off
Come on.
from the land of the living,
That.
his name may be no more remembered.
So we talking about this olive tree and the evil of the brothers that was broken off from that tree. They hated their own prophets. But guess what the Lord has the power to do? Graft them in again. Now that would make sense to me. That would be harmonious, Old and New Testament working together.
Hey,
And it removes the possibility of the...
Right.
So, okay, think about it. When you read this in verse 17, they're talking about the green olive tree, which is the good olive tree from Romans 11. In verse 17, it says, for the Lord of hosts that planted thee has pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah. So Israel and Judah are both on this olive tree, and they are broken off in the verse before. So if that's true, they cannot make the claim that the Gentiles in this wild olive tree are either northern or southern Israel. They can't make that claim anymore. They just cut themselves because they're part of one tree. He doesn't say, hey, I'm breaking off northern Israel from this tree.
Right.
He broke off both of them.
Yeah.
So wow, that's man. I'm glad they gave us that. They just giving us ammunition, man. Hey, look, it's like we in war, and they're like, yeah, you are enemies, and they just give us buckets of ammunition. Hey, we ain't using this no more. Here y'all go. Okay.
Let's go.
heathen ever working their way into the story of the Israelites. Right? I think that's reasonable and makes sense. So what is the summation? There's a good olive tree. The branches of it was broken off. The Bible says Israel is a good olive tree, and the Lord has broken your branches. And Paul is telling you he has the power to graft those that are broken off in again. And how you going to do that? Through Christ. And that's what Paul is actually trying to teach. He's trying to teach you the Savior. So he got to explain the Old Testament to you in context of the Savior.
Right.
That's how he got to teach you. Because how you going to come back in? The law says, if you miss the Sabbath, what I got to do to you?
Kill you.
Yeah, die.
Y'all acting like y'all don't know.
Die.
The Lord said, if you don't come to Passover,
Because they
what
all
happened?
broke
Cut off.
You are cut. The branches are broken off.
No, I was just saying they ain't answered because they all done broke the Sabbath. You gotta kill them. That's funny. Go ahead and play it. I was going to say that. It's funny.
Hey, watch this. Watch that. We teaching that later. The Lord said, if you're a homosexual, what?
You're gonna die. You're gonna break your head with a rock.
That branch is broken off. But how do I bring that branch back in? Christ. Because in Christ, you could repent for them sins that under 2 or 3 witnesses, Moses said what? You gotta die. Y'all understand? So understanding that will help y'all understand the grafting in. So now, I prefer you teach it the way I did. My elder didn't say my way is the best way. He always said, I know how to teach it both ways. And he took the time to teach it both ways. He do the same thing with Cornelius. Some brothers teach Cornelius is a heathen. He'll stand there with you and teach you Cornelius. And even as a heathen and show you Cornelius had to bow to Peter. Because the heathen's gonna have to bow. Cornelius said he had to go through the Jew to get to God. That's what prophecy said. They will grab the skirt of him who is a Jew and say, I will go with you because I have heard that God is with you. Right? So if Cornelius a heathen, what did he do? He bowed and he went through Peter. Ain't that what the heathen got to do to get to God? They got to go through the Israelites. So even if you teach that Cornelius' house got blessed, what's the end result? He got Israel's the top nation. But if you teach that Cornelius is an Israelite from the northern kingdom, it even makes better sense. Why? Because if he's an actual Edomite, how is his house being blessed when they are the people of the Lord's curse forever? How is he getting the Holy Spirit when what is crooked cannot be made straight? And Esau is the most profane, and wisdom will not dwell in a body that is subject to sin. So it makes more sense that he's actually a brother. Right? And that's the way that I think it should be taught.
Wait.
Acknowledge people's breakdowns.
One more thing.
Because to call their breakdown wrong, the fruit of their breakdown is Israel is the top nation. How is that wrong? Right? It's just their interpretation of who's who, which the Bible don't specify. Hey, they went that way with it, and we went this way. But at the end of the day, who's the top nation? Because the Lord said he will do what? He will put us at the top of the mountaintops. And all these nations are going to flow unto us. Right? Go to Isaiah. You want to say something?
God, because, and I know you're about to go to Isaiah, and I want to speak to that point. Like, it's proper with prophecy, right? That breakdown. Because go to Zechariah 14 and start at verse 7.
Zechariah 14?
Yeah.
Hey,
Start at 14.
Isaiah 42:16 says
It's the book of
that God
Zechariah,
can make things
chapter
straight that are
14,
crooked.
starting at verse 7. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Lord, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at even time it shall be light.
Read.
And it shall be in that day
Just letting you know that the truth is going to be there. Read.
that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem,
What's the living water? The living water is the word. Read.
half of them toward the former
Holy
sea,
Spirit.
and half of them toward the hinder sea.
Read.
In summer and in winter shall it be.
So that means it's going to be continual. Like we read in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 1. The water shall
Holy
be
Spirit.
continually flowing. Right? the waters out of the throne, right? Keep reading.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
The Lord shall be what?
King over all the earth.
This is talking about the kingdom being on earth. Right. So the kingdom is established right here in Zechariah 14. Keep reading.
In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Jerba to Ramon.
Jump to 16.
Verse 16. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem.
So this is after all the nations come against Jerusalem. After they all come against the children of Israel. It says all the nations are going to do this. Read.
Shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
So all these nations, they're going to be against the Lord, and they're going to lose. And afterwards, they're going to come up and serve the Lord. Right? That's Isaiah. They're going to be flowing into Jerusalem constantly to serve the Israelites. And they're going to be keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. Keep reading.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem.
So there's a punishment for these heathen, these other nations, if they don't come and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. If they don't come up to serve the Lord. Read.
To worship the King, the Lord of hosts.
That's from Jeremiah, right?
Even upon them shall be no rain.
They're going to get no rain. Now, if the heathen become Israel, if there are heathen that become Israel and that the laws have been given to them for them to keep, then you have to teach that there are Israelites in this time that will not be committing sin, but there's also Israelites in this time that will be committing sin. And this is after the laws are placed on your heart. This is after the kingdom has been established already. Right. So now you have to teach two different paradigms of Israel. There are Israelites that keep the commandments of God, and there are Israelites that won't keep the commandments of God and that are subject to judgments because they will not keep the commandments of God. Right. You have to teach that, but that can't abide. That can't be true. Because it said these are nations. These are other nations that will come up to keep tabernacle, and that will be punished for not doing so. So it's making it clear to you, the only people that are going to be keeping the law continually is the children of Israel. The other nations are going to have to be forced to.
Right.
You don't have to force God's chosen people to keep the commandments of God.
Chosen.
And this is in the time of the kingdom on earth, right?
Y'all understand? What Isaiah 61 and verse 1.
God, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1.
Go to Isaiah 60.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
This is the gospel. Do you know Christ, when they asked him to read the gospel, he read this?
Yeah, he read this.
Well, hold up. What this chapter say? See, that's what I want y'all to think. When Jesus Christ read the gospel, he picked this chapter. Do y'all know what's going on in Isaiah 61? Read on.
Because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives.
Say what?
To proclaim liberty to the captives.
Christ read all of this, read.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Come on.
To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God.
Now wait a minute. Now when Jesus Christ opened up the Bible and read the gospel, he quoted this. You know what Christians will say? Well, he didn't read that part about vengeance. He closed the book before he got to that vengeance part. That's what they're going to say. Because it says when he read those first couple verses, he closed the book, he sat down, and he said, in your ears, this has been fulfilled today with me. So he was teaching them that the fulfillment of Isaiah 61 is my coming. But what is Isaiah 61 about? Right. And the Christians get simple. Nah, he closed the book. The rest of that prophecy don't matter. Like, nah, brother. We gonna read it, brother. Read that part again.
God. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Now jump down to verse 5.
God.
No, hold on. Go to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Because we can read it every line.
Yeah.
I'm not skipping nothing integral. And that verse is going to say your your mourning is going to be turned to gladness. I'm not going to say blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, I'm trying to make a point here. So we're going to skip. Go to verse 4.
And they shall build the old waste, and they shall raise up the former desolations.
How many desolations? We tried to teach this last night. It's more than one desolation. He didn't understand that.
Right.
It's multiple desolations.
Right.
Read.
And they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations.
Because it will be desolate for many generations. There was a desolation during the time of Hezekiah. Remember Hezekiah showed the treasury? And they came in and took everything. The Lord said, why you do that for? He showed them everything you got, what you doing. There was a desolation during the time of Jeremiah. The whole place got destroyed. Right? There was a desolation in 70 AD. The Israelites got the whole Jerusalem destroyed by Rome. And it was many other desolations mixed in. The Chaldeans came, and that caused the desolation. They burnt the records in the temple. And raised it even to the foundation thereof. Right? That was a desolation. Y'all understand? Read on.
And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks.
This is a glad tidings means gospel. This is the gospel. Strangers are gonna feed my flocks. See, they don't want to deal. Well, no, he closed the book. No, wait. He closed the book because that's all that need to be said. Right. But all that need to be said is that first part, because everything that happens next is going to come. Right. But they don't want to deal with that. Read on.
And the son of the alien shall be your plowman and your vine dressers.
So now wait a minute. Jesus Christ is saying the good news is that Israel gonna be in control and the heathen gonna be serving them. What are we talking about? What are we fighting for? And then when you try to reason with your Christian brothers on this, they keep interrupt you, they close their ears, like they did with Stephen. La la la. They stick their finger in their ear and lift up their voice. They don't want to hear it. It get better. Read verse, go to verse 10.
Verse 10. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God. For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness. As the bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and as the bride adorneth herself with her jewels.
Now that's the great thing. Now watch, read on.
For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and the garden causes the things that are sown into it to spring forth, so the Lord God will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations.
Before all nations. Right. My salvation shall be to the ends of the earth. Y'all make that mean that my salvation has gone to every nation, but that means all nations will see my salvation. Right. Once I raise up Israel, all of y'all are going to see that. That's why Deuteronomy said, when you are keeping the commandments, the nations shall say, this is a wise and understanding people. That's what that means. Now go to Isaiah 60, right before that, and let's learn what it means to be a light to the, the word got free course. Let's learn what it means to be a light to the Gentiles, man.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 1.
Now look at this.
Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Upon who?
Israel.
Who is Isaiah the prophet to?
Israel.
We don't have to play no games, and we don't have to get cute.
Right.
The glory of the Lord is risen upon Israel. Read.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
That's ignorance.
And gross darkness the people.
And sin.
But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Who's the thee?
Israel.
No, that's all God's people. That's all the believers. Look at the next verse.
And the Gentiles shall come to thy light.
Now see, now wait now. If the thee was the Gentiles, how the Gentiles gonna come to the light of the Gentiles?
How?
No. The Gentiles are gonna come to the light of Israel. Why? Because they are a light to the Gentiles. That don't mean that you get the same salvation as me. I'm in charge.
Right.
Nobody said the other nation's not gonna be in the kingdom.
Right.
Somebody gotta be there.
Somebody got to serve.
My boots, man.
Yeah.
My fields. Didn't it say they will build your walls? Didn't it say that they will plow your fields?
Yes, it did.
Well, then I need some Gentiles come do that. Israel don't want to do it. We are coming to our rest when we get the kingdom.
Right.
So, hey man, Moab, you see this? These weeds, man. I don't want these weeds with my cucumbers, man. Hey, eat them. Well, you ain't gonna be around long. Let's get you a job now, because you ain't got long. Go climb that tree and build me a new tree. You know what I'm saying? Do something, man. Dig up. Matter of fact, dig up. I don't want to see no concrete.
No concrete. Dig it all up.
All that concrete and buildings and tar. I don't want to hear.
Rid of it.
Carry it away.
Break those big rocks into little rocks.
Yes.
There's nowhere to put it. Eat it.
Now the Christians gonna say, now see, they being racist. No, I'm approving. Read on.
And kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side.
Come on.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea
Seed represents multitudes of people.
Right.
shall be covered unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Wait a minute. So that means the riches of the Gentiles and they produce and they resources gonna come to me. That's what it means when we become a light to the Gentiles. It's a trade-off. We're gonna show you how to stop being filthy heathen, and let me get all your cedar wood. And I need some of your bullocks and your rams. Oh man, and y'all got rubber. We need your rubber for the wheels for our carts.
Get that.
And y'all and
that silk.
Ishmael, we need some oil. No, that's pollution. Y'all just gonna carry us around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it means when when we become a light to the Gentiles. The trade-off is they serve us. Oh, he made that up. He made that up. Aboya, I made that up. Go to verse 10.
Verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
I thought I made it up.
Right.
We in the same chapter, and this is leading to the glad tidings that Jesus read about. This is one chapter before. That means I'm not working. What do you mean build up thy walls? That's the perimeter of your fields, your houses, your buildings, your municipalities. I'm not gonna be up there with brick and mortar like when Moses' day, where they were slaving us. The sons of the strangers gonna do it, huh?
Egyptians gonna do it.
That means the kings of the other nations gotta watch their children serve us.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, he's talking racist. No, it's talking Bible. Read.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
Minister does not mean teach. I know you Christians want to say that.
They love it. Yeah, they love it.
See, the kings of the heathen is gonna teach y'all. No, minister means serve, do service. To be a minister means to serve. When Jesus Christ was tempted in the wilderness, after he defeated the temptation, angels came to minister to him. That means they brought him food and drink and built him up because he had been fasting for 40 days. Well, imagine Trump with a damn silver platter and some white gloves. Bring you some fruit, man.
Right.
Man, this is kind of, ain't no seeds in that. We don't eat that no more.
Would you like for me to,
You know?
separate the seeds?
Israelites, very, very good people. Israelites. Yeah. You know?
Very
The
good.
most bestest people.
You know? Nah, man. Y'all gonna, and look, the thing about it is, everybody knows this is true. But the reason it's not taught is because no one wants to teach that.
Right.
The reason it's not understood is because when brothers try to teach this, interruption, fight,
Yep.
argue,
Kick off stage.
an accusation. While you reading what it really say, watch, read on.
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee,
I broke your branches,
but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
and I brought y'all back to me. Read.
Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually.
Now you see this in the book of Revelation. The gates that never close. There's no need for the sun and the moon because the Lord is the light. All of that come from Isaiah 60, man. Now, John the Revelator is revelating this prophecy. But how do the Christians read that prophecy? The gates is not going to be open. and the heathen that are saved shall bring in their glory. It does say that. But what does it really mean? The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. But how do they want to see it? Oh, the kingdom is better because the heathens are coming in. Because we all saved together. No. It's better to be said, the heathens that remain is going to be building up your walls and bringing you their forces and their resources. Because that's the prophecy. Right? Watch this. Read on.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night.
Just like it said in Revelation 21.
That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought.
Why are you bringing the kings of the other nations? Because they got to come serve and minister to me. Watch this. Read.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Now what now? What now? The nation and kingdom that doesn't serve you gonna be destroyed. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. It was never, no way for the heathen to come in this thing. It was never about them. This book was written by Israelites for Israelites.
That's right.
The heathen got their hand on it, saw themselves in it, and that's the wisdom of God. Saw themselves in it, preserved it for us, but now the Israelites got this book back, man. We got the book back now. Now that we got the book, they don't want us to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, they was always trying to give us a Bible. They were always trying to give us a Bible. And now that we got it and we understand it, now put the Bible down.
Better get it in you. Better get it in you.
It's all wicked, man. And guess what? The Lord said it was going to be that way. The Lord said, I'm going to raise you up at the last, man. He said, wisdom and knowledge will increase in the latter days. Right? What? Guess what? That wisdom and knowledge that came to us represent the downfall of the other nations, man. And it represent our ascension, because we've been at the bottom. Our Hispanic brothers, they mock you, they make jokes about you. They give you the worst jobs in the society. Our black brothers, y'all ain't nothing but pimps and drug dealers and hustlers, man. Our black women, all y'all are sex objects. Our Hispanic women, all y'all are good for is a sex object, or to be a maid in my house. And there was a time where Judah, all you was good for was a sex object and to be a maid in the house. Now y'all are finding out y'all are the princesses of the Lord. And y'all young men are finding out that y'all are the princes, man. And these other nations are finding out that they are the ones that are meant to serve. So now they want you to put this Bible down, man. We never gonna put this Bible down. We're gonna keep studying it. We gonna master the Bible.
That's right.
So get it in.
We ain't got time for your Quran. We gonna master this book, man.
That's right.
I know you hear what I'm saying, right? So that's Old Testament to New Testament. The book is about us, for us, and by us, man.
That's right.
They want to tell you that you're not no Israelite now.
Right. Afro-American.
You see that all in my comments.
What's that? What's an Afro? You named me after a hairstyle, brother.
You're right.
The Lord said in Revelation 12, the earth shall open up its mouth to swallow the flood. What is the flood? Lies. We finding out that our Northern Kingdom brothers been on this side of the world. Our Taino brothers, our Arawak brothers, they've been on this side of the world, man. Wearing fringes. We know that our Gadite brothers done got the shield of David on their clothes from the 1700s. What they know about that?